So the sacral chakra, I'm really happy you're here to listen and learn about the sacral chakra. It's my favorite chakra. It's the one it's the one I notice most people have not enough energy in, or too much energy in. So it's the one that's very commonly blocked for people. And interestingly, it's the chakra that governs how we receive abundance. It's also the one related to our creativity, to our joy, to our abundance, right? Ability to receive abundance. It's a feminine energy center. And the reason most of us have issues with the sacral chakra is because society is so masculine. Society encourages us to work really, really hard for money, to kill ourselves, to, lean so far into the masculine that actually all of us, male or female, are really deficient in the energy that the sacral loves. And that energy is the energy of taking a breath, chilling out, dancing in the moment, literally dancing and enjoying life, and letting things come to you. So if we think about the sacral chakra, the way of thinking about it is a beautiful goddess, right? She's that goddess, she's that supreme deity who is represented by, I always think of her as Saraswati, but she could be any female deity, queen-like figure, who things just happen for, so stuff comes to her. Yeah, she's a total queen. Anything she wants, she's able to attract. She doesn't need to go out and chase that thing, it comes to her. Now, whether you're male or female, this energy is really important. It's not just a feminine thing, it's not just something women have. It's an energy that we need in balance in our body, whether we are masculine or female. So the reason sacral chakra is out of balance for most of us is because we are overworked, we are stressed, and we're hustling. That word hustling, and being really masculine in the way we try and achieve our goals. And I'll give you an example. So I worked with a client a few years ago who really wanted to attract money. This is a female client. She really wanted to make some money. And when she came to me, she was very, very used to creating things by working really hard, by hustling, as you're taught to do. And as soon as we started working together, I think it became really clear that the sacral and her ability to receive was shut down or blocked. Yeah, this was someone who was really, really good at creating things and creating success. But there was this one money goal she had, and she wasn't able to make it happen. And I said to her, so we're going to work with this. So I want you to create your money goal. I want you to have that. It's really important to get clear on that goal. But instead of you going out and hustling and trying to make it happen, I want you to lean into the feminine energy of the sacral. I want you to chill out. I want you to trust life. So take action. I'm not saying don't take action. Take action. But trust that life is going to bring that opportunity to you. You don't have to do all the heavy lifting, right? Chill out, take a beat, and do things that make you happy. She did, and long story short, she manifested actually the exact number, the exact amount of money that she had wanted to manifest, and did so in a really, really short amount of time. I think it was like 8 weeks. And it was over 6 figures in terms of income. So it was a lot of money that came in when she just sort of chilled out and started to let things come to her. So you might be listening and thinking, well, how does this relate to me? What can I do? Like, how do I know what's going on my sacral? So the first thing to know is that if you're not able to relax, if you're someone who's constantly hustling, is constantly in hustle mode and create mode, you're probably too far into your masculine. If life feels really difficult, if you have a goal you want to create, you're not able to create that goal, and you're feeling like, nothing I do brings results, that's a really, really big sign that your sacral doesn't have enough energy. And so the way this is going to show up for you in your life is you're going to be hustling and creating and going nuts trying to make things happen, but nothing is going to be coming back as a result. And the reason that's going to be happening is because your ability to receive things, receive that gold, the abundance, all of the things you want is shut down. So you're saying to the universe, I'm going to do it by myself. I'm going to create it. I'm going to make it happen. You might have a tendency to be very controlling. So if you have a goal, you need to map out every single step, and it has to happen exactly the way I want it to happen. You're not letting any serendipity, any magic, any support come in. Yes, that's a sign that there's an imbalance in the sacral. Now, does this work, right? Is it just crazy? What am I saying? Like, is this bonkers? Lean into those times when you've really wanted something, and just think back to a time where you've really wanted something. Maybe in your own life, reflect on a job, maybe reflect on a relationship, maybe reflect on something in your life that was really meaningful and really big, and you really wanted it. And so bring up an example in your mind's eye and just think about that example. And then think about whether you really, really took every single step to make it happen, or whether partly, some part of that was you putting it out there, taking an action, but also the universe kind of meeting you halfway and helping you and allowing it to come to you. Yeah. So when I think of examples, I think of when I wasn't working many years ago and I wanted to find a job. I hustled. I remember I was running a business as well, so I was hustling. I was very far into my masculine, trying to make this thing happen. Nothing was happening. In fact, I got burned out and depleted. And it was actually when I completely stopped and was like, you know what? I just don't actually care anymore. I'm just going to chill out. I'm just going to enjoy myself. I'm just going to see what life brings to me. Suddenly then, I opened up my ability to receive, and it was allowed to happen, and it came to me. And actually, I started to make more money than I'd ever made before in my life. So if you are very far into your masculine, your sacral energy, which truly is the energy of receiving abundance and joy and creativity, is not happy. It's not happy. And in order to balance it, some things you can do. The other thing, actually, I should say, the sacral governs relationships. So if your sacral is imbalanced, not only will you have a problem attracting abundance and receiving abundance and great things, you'll also have, probably in your relationships, you'll either be too needy, emotionally too needy, so you'll have an issue with boundaries, or you might be somebody who finds it very, very hard to connect to emotions and very hard to relate to others, like to get really close to people. So there'll be like these extremes if there's an imbalance in the sacral. So the whole thing is connected, and often when you meet people, you can tell by the way they are with their approach to goals and relationships, and how they kind of talk about money and how they are. You can get a sense of what might be happening for them in the sacral. It also governs the reproductive organs as well. So women who struggle with fertility can sometimes be too far into their masculine and need to kind of take a step back to receive, to get pregnant, and to be more fertile. So what can you do if your sacral chakra is, you sense that it's probably not got enough energy or too much energy, you need to balance it. If there's not enough energy in the sacral, which is often the case, well, relax, first of all. Relax. Create some time for slowing down in your life. Create moments of slowing down and do something creative. Yeah? Lean into your creative abilities. It doesn't have to be getting out art pencils or anything like that. Any form of creativity. So let's say you have something you're trying to do, something you're trying to create. Think of creative ways of achieving the same goal. Yeah, just brainstorm some creative ideas. Yeah, the sacral energy, when it calms down, it really loves that creative thinking. Sort of, it is the center that is in the womb, right, or where the sexual and reproductive organs are. So it's all about creation and creativity. So the first thing is get creative in some way. If you're used to cooking your meals, like get creative in the way you cook your meals. Yeah, so do something that feels creative to you. Whether if you take a walk through your normal park or wherever you go, maybe try going a different route. Try somewhere different so that you are bringing that creative juice and bringing that flow into your life. Okay, so the first thing is get creative. The second thing that you should do and can do is actually dance. Now, it sounds weird and it sounds crazy, but it's actually not. The sacral chakra loves spontaneous movement. Being an energy center in the body, when we move the hips and we move that part of the body, it really, really loves it, and we free up whatever might be blocked there. Yeah, we free it up. It's also connected, the sacral, to the throat. So the two are very closely linked. So if you have a blockage or an issue in the sacral, often you will also have issues with communication, and you'll have blocks in both. So once we start to open up the sacral energy, we also start to open up the throat. So that's if there's not enough energy, what you can do. If there's too much energy, you might be somebody who tends to spend a lot of money. You might be an overspender. You might be somebody who is really indulgent in the joys of life. Yeah, you're someone who really lives large, loves to live large, which is fine to a point, but it may be out of balance. Yeah, you could also be somebody who, when it comes to dating and relationships and that kind of stuff, you may be going too far with that energy. Right? I'll just say that you may be going too far with that energy, too far to the point where you're depleting the sacral. Right? You're spreading that energy too broadly, too widely, if you know what I mean. And again, you're taking energy away from the sacral. So if there's too much energy and the sacral needs balancing, then it's really, really important to connect back to the root chakra. Okay, so if your sacral is too far, emotions might be a bit wild, spending might be a bit crazy, you might be very indulgent, it's a sign you need to ground. Yeah, I have got a video which I'll link related to the root chakra and how to balance that. But if your sacral is a bit out of control and imbalanced, then it's really important to do some grounding exercises to ground the energy and kind of bring it back down to the root and balance it, because then that will take the energy, it will then rise up and work towards the other chakras. Yeah, so if you have too much energy in the sacral, I would advise that you ground it. A really simple thing you can do is just to be in nature. Right? Take yourself into nature and notice how you feel after being in nature, and whether those habits of overindulgence, whatever you might be doing with your sexual energy, if you notice, if you feel differently and if things change, and if you're showing up differently with that energy. So that's another thing you can do if your sacral has too much energy. I'd say really, as a bottom line, I'd say lean into the feminine, lean into receiving. If you work out in the gym, if you're doing lots of weights and lots of very masculine type stuff, male or female, as I said, it doesn't matter. If the sacral is looking for some energy, I would move more into sort of the yin yoga, slightly more gentle exercises as well. So do some routines or some days where you're working out and doing a lot more feminine energy things. Yeah, maybe have a few more rest days, maybe do some dancing, maybe do some aerobic type exercises, yeah, or a workout in nature, so something like that to give that balance between the masculine and the feminine. And the other thing I would say is really build your faith muscle, build that trust, because the sacral is, it's an energy that's like, I have faith, I have full faith that the universe will provide to me. I have full faith that the universe will give me what I need. That this goddess, imagine this goddess, she's not actually out there trying to hustle and make things happen. She believes things will come to her. Like, she has that kind of faith, she has that real grounding inside of her that is like, things will just come to me. Like the river of life, things go out, but then equally things are going to flow to me. Things will just flow to me when they need to. And that takes an incredible amount of self-discipline and faith. Yeah? So really, again, leaning into that energy of faith and joy, and how you're going to enjoy that thing that's going to come to you. So hopefully that's helpful. That's a whistle-stop tour of the sacral. I will go deeper into some of these points, but hopefully that's useful. And there's one thing that you can take away from this video to kind of put into practice. So if you do have one thing that you found really useful, put it in the comments. And if there's any questions you have, again, put them in the comments, or related topics that you would like on the sacral chakra, and then I will answer them in my upcoming videos. Please do like, comment, subscribe and share these videos as well. And if there's anything, as I say, that you want me to talk about, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.